Hi, I'm Jerry Springer. Look at these two men. One's a grandfather. The other one's a minister. Guess what? When they were younger, they were pimps. They drove fancy cars, wore expensive jewelry. They also beat the women who worked for them and kept all the money for themselves. Please meet former pimp Stacy Allen Smith, also known as Pimping Bilbo, and Bishop Magic Juan, who is now a pastor of a church. First things first, tell me, and for our audience, what is a pimp? What does he do?
Well, my job as a pimp was to be considered the female everything. You know, most of the time, young ladies that are looking for love, they're looking for somebody that's concerned about them to be able to take care of them. And this is what a pimp do. He uses women on the street so that they can fulfill his needs materially and however he wanted, you know, their desire to be. Bilbo, he understands because when I first became the #1 pimp in Chicago, he was one of the presenters at the Pimp of the Year ball, and he presented me with the award.
Now, pimp, bear with me. I'm trying to be objective here. What do you mean, pimp of the year? This is...
Well, see, this is an annual thing that takes place within the inner city, within the pimps, the players, the
So
hustlers.
within the community, it's recognized. Okay, let's get back to what the pimp does now. As I understand it then, you have a stable of women, okay? These women are prostitutes. You send these women out to hotels, on the streets, wherever you send them. They perform their acts of prostitution. They get the money, and they come back to you, and you take all their money. In exchange for what?
Well, exchange for being their everything, fulfilling their every desire, fulfilling the needs in their life. I mean, what a pimp do is, a pimp is the overseer of the female. I mean, she's there to fulfill his needs and do his bidding.
What does she do for you?
Stand on the corner, sell her body so that I could receive the finances to do whatever it is that I wanted to do. This was my job as a pimp, you know, to receive her money. And her job was to stand on the corner and fulfill my desire by getting the money and bringing it home to me.
Does any of this strike you as wrong? There's something when your judgment day comes that all of a sudden someone's going to look at you and say, you know what, that wasn't the best thing to do on earth to make a living.
I'm wearing these dark glasses, not because I'm ashamed of me. I'm 67 years old. But my version of it is, I've seen a lot of people out there old enough to realize the original Coca-Cola ball, the little small one. To me, that was the best. So as the generation passed on, different things. Now, my version of a pimp is altogether different. To me, a pimpin' is a person who teaches, brings the best out in the worst of female and teach her that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
What are you teaching them with all due respect? You're teaching a woman to go out and sell her body and give me your money?
Mr. Jerry, you elevate. That's the grammar school basis where I'm concerned. You don't give away nothing that's good enough to sell. She hungry, she ain't got nothing, so make one step, grammar school, kindergarten, step up, let me elevate you into something else. Every woman I ever had is living in the suburbs now.
Okay. So you're taking women that are stone broke, they're down on their luck, they have nothing.
Well, more or less to motivate them. You know, women's already out that be involved in different sexual activities, so now they're getting paid for them. He'll motivate them to know to get paid for them.
You say you care for these women, do you beat them?
But you can't stop.
You've hit women, haven't you? You hit your women, don't you?
Only to shock them back to reality. You know?
Let that be a lesson. Nobody get away from reality. Wait a second. Go ahead.
See, they call it a pimp whooping. We have a world of our own, just like the gypsies. If you might have made love to a lot of women, but you ain't touched the gypsy yet. So in this field, a layman, I'm to a pimp, you know, any game that you haven't participated in, you are considered a layman, right?
Right.
Y'all do agree with me on that?
Yeah, we're with you so far.
How can anybody tell you about a pimp and they don't even know the origination of him, where he come from, what he here for? He for the unwanted woman. See, I'm gonna say this. You see, God gave everybody a mate. A lot of men are tipping them women's back room and tip outside, fasten their pants up real nice and run. So she ain't got nobody want to be seen with her in public. But they give her a mate too. God did that. He gave her the pimp.
Now, wait a second.
Let me explain something to you.
Wait a second.
Don't you agree that, Mr. Springer, let me say this, please.
Sure.
Don't you agree that she's entitled to life, love, and pursuit of happiness?
She's entitled not to be owned, not to be a slave, not to be beaten, and not to...
All right.
She have a decision to make. This
See,
was
that's the
her
way y'all
choice.
looking at it. That's the way y'all looking at it. Because you're a layman in that field. Please believe me, every snowflake that falls from the sky got a different design. Lifestyle. People don't like doctors. They don't like police. Some people don't like you. They don't even like God, and he wake them up every morning. Yeah. Let me explain something to you. No, it's not my way. When I come along, that's today, and I'm yesteryear.
That's right.
The only reason I'm out here is I hear so many myths, MYTS, and derogatory statements concerning a pimp, and everything done come out the closet but the pimp. I said, well, I'm just going to step out there and try to enlighten you.
Well, we admire your courage, and I'm glad you're here because the truth is we don't know a lot about this, and you.
I'm trying to tell you, that's why I'm here. Because y'all got it twisted all up. She's a hoe. She stepped up. No.
Excuse
me
me,
and
sir.
my baby hungry, and she wants to get, we ain't got no money. So I said, come on, baby, let's hit her. Don't give away nothing good enough to sell now. We both broke. So she go at...
Yeah, but what... Okay, but you know what? It strikes me that she's doing all the work, and while she's out there working, what are you doing?
Oh, it's a mind game. He's working the mind.
You're dressing nice. But you're leaning back. You're watching television. You're buying nice clothing.
Well, it's two
she go buy them too. Baby, you know I ain't lying. We get together.
Okay, let me hear from this woman here.
How you doing, Cosette?
Hold on.
Okay, you said that many women are not seen with. Are you seen with the women that you pimp?
Me?
Yeah.
Am I staying with them?
I said, are you seen with the women that you know have out here on the street?
It makes me feel good to be with her.
Okay, all the women that you pimp, you be seen with them, right?
I used to have a gold chain.
Okay. You live with
plastic gold chain.
All of these women you are seen with, right?
And put them all on the same chain.
Places with them, you go out with them, you wine them, you dine.
Wait a second. Okay, hold on. Let it talk. Okay.
They bring you in this money while you got all this gold and jewelry on your fingers while you going around looking all good, you know. And how do you dress your women?
Dressed just like I did.
Oh, so they have gold on their fingers, you know. They dress from diamond stud
they had
boots
everything,
all the way
just
up
like
to
me.
tuxedos,
I wouldn't want them to look any different than me. They supplied my needs, so I was able to supply theirs.
What do you do for these? I don't understand this. Assuming the woman makes the decision that she wants to be a prostitute. Right. That's her decision that she made. Where do you enter into it? Why does she need you? If she is getting paid for what she is doing, why isn't that her money? Why should she give it to you? What do you do for her?
One thing about it is, you know, it was a such thing that prostitutes stand on the corner is considered outlaw. They had to have a man to represent them, a man that could stand in the gap for them when different people come around, somebody try to take their money.
What's wrong with having a friend? What's wrong with having a lawyer? What's wrong with not breaking the law?
Well, it's just the same thing, that it was a profession, and just like he was saying earlier, a prostitute needs a pimp. They're the only one that understand one another.
Which one is the minister?
I am.
Okay. You're saying this now, but now that you're in your ministry, do you think that was right for you to take this lady out and give her self-esteem this way? Couldn't you just teach her then that the way is Christ and that's the only way it is? And also, you said that you're a minister now. I'm a Christian. And we as Christians, the Lord teaches us how to walk, talk, dress, and live. Do you think that's Christian-like? Or for you to go out to the world and try to minister to someone and you're wrapped in gold? They say the streets are paved with gold. We don't need to have all this gold and this flash.
But the Bible also said, you know, judge the heart, not the outer appearance.
You what? I'm sorry.
Well, I was explaining to her, see, the Bible lets us know to judge the heart of a person, not the outer appearance. It said man's always judge the outer appearance. The Bible tells us to stop dealing in the minors and deal with the major. It's more interested in saving a soul than worry about the jewelry and the clothes and the raiment that one's wear.
But I'm looking at, may I look at this, for example? You have
here.
Well,
look here, I serve a rich God. My God said he'll supply all of my needs. I don't know what kind of God she served. Maybe she's serving a God of a lesser.
How many women were sent out on the streets to be with men they didn't know, to be in a situation which they could have been physically hurt?
Well, they have at times.
They have been hurt. How many women have been beaten or died to pay for this?
I had one to be shot 5 times, but I never had a woman that have been killed.
Then how can you, in a conscience, keep this? Even keep this worth how much about?
About $17,000.
$17,000 that you are wearing on your hand, and it has been bought on the backs of women that have been beaten, in your own words, shot. As a minister, doesn't that say to you, you know what I ought to do with this?
Well, you know, this is a testimony of my past life. This is an opportunity to be able to share and let the people know what I once was a part of. I mean, I believe that we serve a rich God, and we should look prosperous. I paid and I